Alright ladies, this is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how to listen mindfully and how to listen to a guy in a way that permeates his mind. This is something that how dare they throw trash in the streets, in the park, kids these days. This is a video about, this is something I teach guys primarily. I don't teach this to women more as much, because for guys, when I teach guys how to approach women, it's more about how to not be creepy, primarily. That's like the most important thing, how to not be creepy. And if you're able to not be creepy, then you're good. You're good. Just be normal, act normal, don't fuck it up, okay? Don't talk about your white van with candy that you have, right? Just be normal. So why is that important? Because when a guy cannot be normal talking to a woman, he's gonna try to say things to be cool. And when he feels nervous, he's gonna say, oh fuck, I'm feeling nervous, I don't wanna feel nervous. And because he doesn't want to feel nervous, he's gonna feel more nervous. It's kind of like a spiral. It goes further and further. You get further and further. So what's the key in all of this? The key in all of this is to remove attention from your mind, from your thoughts, because when you're talking to a guy and you're listening to a guy, you're not really listening. You're more about listening to the thoughts in your mind about what you're gonna say next. Okay? So in this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to do it, and I'm gonna show you guys some of the exercises that I use to help you guys listen, but with presence and being present while you listen. So this is how it's done. Let's say you're talking to a guy and you're nervous or you're angry. What usually happens when you're nervous around a guy? You usually don't listen. You're usually listening to the inner chatter of your mind, to the little soliloquies that goes on in your mind, right? So what do you do then? When you listen to your mind, what tends to happen is that you become analytical. And there are two different kind of brains that humans have. You got the analytical brain and you have your social brain. When you turn on your social brain, that's what I'm talking about. She's telling them to those kids, go sit down. Yeah, tell them. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What's up, kid? So when your analytical brain is on, you usually get more nervous, but your social brain is turned off. What's your social brain? Your social brain is your instinct, your ability to think in the moment, your ability to say things without thinking. It's a part of you that's really needed. It's the most primordial part of humans. It's the social brain. The analytical brain came about when we started using language. Back then, we didn't use language in terms of what we say, but rather the language what we use was more behavioral, body language. And that's more of an instinct to be able to assess and analyze facial expressions and all that sort of stuff, and responding in the moment. So how do we do this? We remove attention from the mind and into the body. So when you listen, for example, right now, when you're listening to me, let's try this right now, right? Listen to me, right? As you listen to me, where is your attention? Are you analyzing what I'm saying, or are you really listening? For the most part, there might be some mental chatter in your mind. So what do you do? Right now, focus on the way my voice resonates in your ear for a couple minutes right now. For a couple seconds, right? Notice the way my voice resonates in your ear. Fully focus on the way your ears process my voice. Notice how it resonates in your ear. Just notice it, right? And just make that your primary mode of attention. Just keep noticing it. Notice the vibration. Notice how silky smooth it sounds, right? Just keep noticing it, right? And as you listen to me, you're noticing how it vibrates in your ear. Feel your body. Feel your breath as you're listening to my voice. Feel your breath, right? Just keep listening and feel your breath. Notice your environment. Notice the shadows in the environment. Notice the different colors in the environment as you listen to me. All right? Notice the space that surrounds me as you listen to me. Right? And that makes you focus more on the present moment. And you listen more. There's more intensity when you listen. And what happens is that people feel that intensity. But this intensity is not like intensity. It's more like relaxed, focused intensity. Right? It's more like lasered focus. So when you do this, what tends to happen is that when it's your turn to talk, you don't talk out of preconditioned responses, which would have acted through you if you would have been thinking about what you say next, because you are reacting to your emotions that are based on your own insecurities. That's not there no more. They may arise, but they're not going to act through you. So you will feel nervous, but it's not going to be the intense nervous that looks weird. It's going to be more normal, adorable nervousness. You're going to be more open to it. So when you talk to me, then when it's your time to respond, you're not responding based on predisposed responses. You're responding based on the present moment. For example, when guys are talking to you, right? When guys are hitting on you, right? You could tell when a guy's rehearsing a line, right? You could tell it, right? You can easily tell. As opposed to a guy who's responding to you in the present moment. There's a huge difference in that. The difference is not about how cool the line was, because the guy who you feel like he just gave you a line that he rehearsed, it could be cooler, but because of its inauthenticity, whatever, you feel that it's fake. It's kind of like real code as opposed to fake code, right? Like the code in the weather. You can feel the code when it's like natural code, but then when you go into a room and it's artificial code, there's a huge difference between artificial code and real code. The same thing. There's a difference between real listening and fake listening. Real response based on the present moment, and a response based on a predisposed response based on your own insecurities. So then what tends to happen is that when you listen mindfully, you're not filtering me through your own insecurities. You're not filtering me through your belief system, like, oh fuck, he's gonna reject me, right? So you're thinking those rejection thoughts, and so it's masking and it's veiling and it's creating a smoke screen. So you're seeing me through a filter system of your own insecurity. That's because you're focusing on what to say next. You're focusing on what you don't want to happen, of I don't want this to be awkward, right? So then what do? You allow those thoughts to arise, but you focus on the present moment. You focus on the physical sensation. You focus on the way my voice resonates in your ear, or you're focusing in your hand. Notice how your hand feels. So when you're listening to me, right? Just listen to me right now, right? Listen to me, but notice your hand. Just notice your hand, right? Notice your hand, right, as you're listening to me, or even focus on your breath. Either or, I'll let you do one of the two. Notice your breath or focus your hand, right? All right? And as you listen to me and you focus on your breath, what tends to happen is that your mind can only focus on one thing. You can either focus on what to say next, which is based on your own insecurities, which will actually cause your insecurities to be felt by the guy, and the friction that you feel from how you want to be to how you are feeling is going to make you feel nervous. It's going to make you feel like, oh, fuck, I don't want to feel this way. Oh, fuck, the event that I didn't want to happen is happening. Now, you're focusing on your breath. You're listening to me. Insecurities might come up, but you're not reacting. So now anything that you say is not going to be based on insecurity, but based on the present moment. So even though you might feel insecure, because if it came for the present moment, it's going to be acceptable. It's kind of like the code, like I said. Because it's code, it feels, oh, okay, this is normal. This is normal code, as opposed to code that's based on artificial humans creating the code on their own selves. That's how you do it. You listen mindfully through noticing your breath, and you respond not because of what you're gonna say, which is pretty much based on your own insecurities, because that's what happens when you respond based on your own insecurities, based on your mind. It's usually linked up based on past experiences. So if you expect people to reject you, and you use that same instrument where that's jaded and that's hindered and that's inhibited because of your past, what's going to happen is that you're going to express that inhibitedness through insecurities, through misinterpretation of what he says, through assuming the worst, through assuming that what you're going to say is not enough, because that's all based on past experiences. So when you talk to me, then you're able to let go of those past experiences, not through rejecting it, but through refocusing your attention on the present moment, which could be which is just an awareness of any experiences that's happening. You're not the experience, you're more of the awareness of the experiences, because experiences happen, right? You have a whole bunch of different experiences. You experienced something else differently earlier today, you're experiencing something else right now. But the screen of experience is still the same. Like the screen is still the same, it's not changing. What's changing, right? It's just the content. The screen is changing, right? That's the only thing that's changing. So you base yourself on the one thing that doesn't change, which is the awareness. All right, so you're gonna have different things arise, but maintaining yourself as the awareness, it allows you to be more relaxed. And also, when you listen to people being present, it gives you a cool aura, right? You don't look nervous anymore. You're not nervous no more, because when you notice your breath, it relaxes you. It really does relax you. Studies have shown that noticing the breath relaxes the body. And also, relaxation is the number one sign of confidence. Okay? And going into your head. And like, notice, like, the best athletes are the ones that don't think too much when they're playing. They don't think too much. It's just act. So you're bypassing that one hindrance of being in flow, of being in the moment, through focusing on the breath rather than focusing on your mind. Even when you talk to people, you focus on your breath. And the problem is that it's difficult to do because you feel the gravitational pull of your mind and you feel the gravitational pull of trying to say something next, right? But it forces you to say, oh fuck, I want to say something next, but it forces you to return to the breath, right? So then thinking of what to say next is secondary. So you're anchored. You feel that. I mean, it forces you. It takes more attention. It takes more focused attention to do that. So what happens that that focus that you were using to feel your thoughts, which usually fuels your of thinking of what to say next, is you're fueling it by becoming more present. And so the old self that was usually fueled by the attention that you were placing on it, right? Because it wasn't being placed on the present moment, it slowly dies because of lack of attention, right? And it'll try to revive itself to say, hey, look, you need to say this. This is cool. Please listen to me. No. You observe it, right? Oh, you return to your breath. You're back in it, right? And that's how you do it. And it'll give you a very cool aura, and you'll be able to listen to a guy without including your biases, all right? Anyways, this is because if you do this, you'll be able to see the red flags also. You'll be able to not discriminate, but just because he's a good-looking guy, right? You'll be able to be like, oh fuck, like I'm just trying to get him because he's unique. So let me just return to the breath, and now you're viewing it from the objective perspective. You're not biased. You're not accepting him without looking at the person he is. Right? You're not letting your needy mind control you, but rather you're just becoming aware of that needy mind. Right? And you're considering the option that it brings to you. Anyways, this is Alex from mindfortraction.org. I hope that makes sense. This is one of those concepts that I teach. I don't teach this to women as often because I don't think women need this as often, but I can see how you guys might want to use this. All right. So this is an option. It's not necessary, but it's very interesting. It makes you more interesting in conversations. And this is how you're able to be honest with you, like when I talk to people who interact with me, at least I like to think I'm pretty weighty. I like to think I think quick on my feet. And one of the reasons is because I practice pickup, and it forces you to think on your feet. But also because I talk at times with an empty mind. I don't care what to say next because I'm just fucking around with people, you know? So yeah, that's how you do it, man. Anyways, this is Alex from mindfortraction.org. If you guys need one-on-one coaching, go to mindfortraction/coach in the pocket. If you guys are interested in my podcast, tonight by 6 p.m. I'm going to be uploading a podcast. If you guys want to listen to it live as it's recorded, just make sure to subscribe to my podcast. I'm going to have the link below. Anyways, this is Alex. Have a good day. Bye-bye.